Good day, everyone! Have you ever paused and wondered what it means to live out your faith every day? In a world full of distractions, uncertainties, and challenges, it's easy to let our faith become something we practice on Sunday mornings and forget the rest of the week. But the true power of faith lies not in what we say, but in what we do. Faith in action. That is what transforms our lives and the lives of others. Faith isn't just believing in something greater. It's living out that belief in the small and big moments of our daily lives. The Bible says, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. James 2:17. This means that simply saying we believe in God isn't enough. We must show it through our actions, our kindness, our generosity, our patience, and our perseverance. Answering God's call. Each of us has a unique calling from God. It may not always be obvious or loud, but it's there. Some of us are called to serve through acts of compassion, helping the needy, volunteering, or simply being a listening ear to someone in pain. Others might be called to leadership, spreading the message of hope and love. Whatever your calling may be, remember that God equips those He calls. Often, we doubt ourselves. We think we're not good enough, or we don't have the time or resources to make a difference. But let me remind you, God does not call the qualified, He qualifies the called. When Moses was called to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, he doubted his ability to speak well. Yet, God still used him in a powerful way. In the same way, God will use you if you trust Him and take that step of faith. Putting faith into action. Living out God's calling every day is a continuous process, not a one-time event. It's in the way we treat our neighbors, the way we show up for our families, and how we handle trials and challenges. Consider the story of the Good Samaritan. While others passed by a man in need, the Samaritan acted. He put his faith into action, showing mercy and compassion. That's what we're called to do. Not just speak about love, but show it in real and practical ways. Sometimes, putting our faith into action means standing up for what is right, even when it's difficult. It means speaking the truth with love, forgiving those who have wronged us, and being generous even when it costs us something. It means choosing peace over anger and hope over despair. These actions speak louder than any words and show the world what it truly means to follow Christ. Embracing the everyday opportunities. It's easy to think that living out God's calling requires grand gestures, but often it's in the small, everyday moments where our faith shines the brightest. The way you speak to a coworker, the patience you show in a traffic jam, the time you spend with your children. All of these moments are opportunities to reflect God's love and grace. We are His hands and feet in the world, and every act of kindness, every moment of compassion is a step closer to fulfilling His calling for our lives. Remember, you may be the only Bible someone reads. Your actions may inspire others to seek God and find their purpose. Persevering in faith. Lastly, living out your faith means persevering, even when the road gets tough. The Bible tells us, we walk by faith, not by sight. So 2 Corinthians 5:7. There will be times when we don't see the fruits of our labor immediately, when the journey feels long and uncertain. But that's when our faith is tested and strengthened. Trust that God is with you, guiding your steps. As you continue to live out your faith, you will grow stronger, more resilient, and more attuned to His voice. In turn, you will inspire others to do the same. In closing, I encourage each of you to reflect on how you can live out God's calling in your daily life. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions. Start today with what you have, whether it's a kind word, a helping hand, or simply listening to someone in need, these small acts of faith will ripple out into the world and make a bigger impact than you can imagine. As you go forward, remember, faith is not passive, but active. It moves, it serves, and it transforms. So, let's step out in faith and live out God's calling every single day. Thank you, and may God bless you as you walk this journey of faith in action.